Hey folks, Lester here. Have y'all ever heard that expression, once is a happening, twice a coincidence, but 3 times is a pattern? There's something going on around the farm, and I haven't made a big deal about it. I've recorded a few things, but nothing's really video worthy. Not to make its own video, but I'm telling you something. We're noticing some weird things going on around our pond. And so today, even though this video is not about that, at the very end, I'm going to include something I'd like you to take a look at. And I'm trying to put pieces together, folks. So, hey folks, Lester here. You can see that pig Trudy's out this morning enjoying herself a little dip in the, well, I don't even know what color I would call that pond right now. It's funny because we're kind of in between. We're in a stage right now with the pond chemicals and stuff where it's really doing some weird things. So I don't know if you understand the entire process, because I know for sure that I don't. But we do have a couple of folks who've been trying to help us along. We've even had a few people who have sent us the first couple of rounds of treatment for this thing. But the way it goes, and I may be saying this wrong, and feel free to jump in, but one of the chemicals that you've put in, and I will say first, before I get started, that all of the chemicals are safe for the animals. There's nothing that's going to hurt or be affected. Nothing, no aquatic life, no plant life, and especially no animal life, as far as our babies here, that's going to be affected by the chemicals that we use in the pond. And we have made sure that everything is safe for the babies to drink, to swim in, and everything else. All right, let me explain how this process goes. So I don't have the chemicals here in front of me to show you, but it would be nice if I did. But you have to drop in the very center of the pond a little bag. It's it's like a burlap sack, you know, the kind that you used to use when you were little, doing those hop races. I forgot what they called those, the little ones where you hop along and race in that little bag, that sack, like an old feed bag. I think people used to use those for clothes, if I'm not mistaken. I think when they were younger, my dad and them talked about how grandparents would use those bags to make dresses and stuff. Anyway, so you have one of those. It's about the size of your fist, and it's full of all kinds of nutrients that your pond needs. Now, you drop that thing in the very center, and over time, the nutrients inside of it will begin to dissolve and into your water, and that provides a certain kind of minerals and other kind of things that your pond needs to help plant life grow. Okay, so then you have to have an actual gallon jug chemical, and there's a ratio to it. It's actually made for our pond, and our pond size, so we don't have to do any mixing. But you pour it into the pond around the edges, and it is supposed to attack the bad bacteria. And you say, well, isn't all bacteria bad? Well, guess what, folks? The answer is no. Because a second chemical that you come by with about 3 days later is a good bacteria that you pour into your pond. And so you can see how the process goes. There is another step. It's a dye. It's a dye, and it turns your water a certain color. Now, right now, that's not the color that we want. That's not our desired color. But what we got going on right now is some really weird stuff. And I don't know, what I'm guessing is we're under chemicaling. Under-treating. I think that we're under-treating our pond, because here's what's going on. Look in the very center right there. I'm going to zoom into it. Wait, I'm already zoomed in. Sorry, folks. I was already zoomed in. Right there. Can y'all see that green film? Okay, you're saying, Lester, the whole pond has a green film. I know the pond is a soupy, weird color right now. But you know what I'm referring to, that the algae type green, that stuff right over there, the one the ducks are swimming towards. So that's how the entire pond looked about a week ago. It had that entire color on it, and then from what we were reading, we knew it was time for the treatment. So Jamie comes out and she pours in the chemical to, I think, kill that stuff back. And we got most of it killed back all around the edges. But now we have this little floating, this floating sea of gunk right there. That is pretty gross to look at. And I know that whenever the little ducks or even my baby girl walk out there and walk through that stuff, they come out with a ring around them. So I know it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick. And so I'm thinking that we're going to have to up the chemical that kills that. And I would also think that we should probably not only go around the outside edges, but go ahead and douse that stuff around the middle as well. There's not a whole lot of it, of the green gunk, but there is enough to where you can see it. As far as the color of the water, okay, so there's a little picture on the container, on the gallon jug, that tells you how much to put into the ratio to mix with your water to get the desired color. And I'm guessing that Jamie either added too much or too little, because that's not the color that we like right there. Something else I'm thinking about is it hasn't rained here in at least 3 weeks. And the last time that we added the chemicals and did all of the coloring and stuff, it was right before we had that little tropical storm blow in where we got 2 or 3 inches of rain. And I think that maybe the rain, hitting the water and mixing in with it and everything else is maybe what gave us that real pretty color we had. Because, boy, we had it there for a while. It looked like we were in Pensacola, Florida, that watercolor. Well, okay, maybe I exaggerate. Maybe not Pensacola, but it looked like we had a really nice thing going here. And it didn't last long. It didn't last but about a week or so. And then we got this again. So we are learning our way through this. Like everything else around here, we are slowly trying to figure out what's what and who's who. And we're going to get there, folks. We're going to get there. I have been out this morning doing some chores. As you can see, I got the yard all cleaned up and everything looks nice around here. Jamie's mom's coming in town. I may have mentioned that a few times already, but Jamie's mom's coming in town, and we want to have everything pretty for her. Kim came in and got the little barn dominium all cleaned up where she's going to be staying. I've tried to mow the yard, but what I'm really annoyed at right now are all of these little white feathers. I know what you're going to say, Lester. Don't even start. Don't even start on those babies. I know. I love them. I do. Not as much as Jamie, obviously. But I do love them. But here's the situation that we're always going to have. Can you see? Okay, we'll try to overlook. Let me go inside this pasture. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm walking over here closer to where I can show you guys. So there's 2 things I'm going to point out to you right here. Number 1 is it looks like an oil spill. That stuff, it is so nasty the way it just kind of floats on top of the water, and you can see it kind of moves around as with the current of the water, and it's only a current created by wind. There's no moving water here. But yeah, that's nasty. And then, folks, if you notice, hold on. Guys, there are more of those weird footprints. They're all over the edge of this water here. You can see those prints. Oh, Jesus Christ! Sorry, I used Jesus' name like that. That was not intentional. But I replayed that video 100 times, and I just cannot seem to figure out what's what. But I do have a few more snippets I'll include in future videos, and hopefully we can somehow piece this all together and get to the bottom of what's going on around here.